Bill Maher, known for his sharp wit and unabashed commentary, recently took aim at The View, sparking widespread interest and intense discussion. This unexpected verbal strike has turned into a major talking point, with implications that extend beyond the immediate controversy. Maher, never one to shy away from contentious subjects, directed his criticism towards the dynamics and tone of the popular daytime talk show, which has long been a staple in American television for its mix of celebrity interviews, political debate, and cultural commentary. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. The moment was classic Maher, delivered with his signature blend of humor and incisive critique. He dissected what he perceives as the show's often polarizing approach to dialogue. Over the years, The View has been celebrated and criticized in equal measure for its spirited discussions. But Maher's analysis struck a chord because it pointed to something deeper: the challenge of balancing meaningful debate with entertainment value. His commentary was not just about The View, but what it represents in the broader media landscape. Maher's remarks underscored a growing frustration with what some see as a decline in constructive dialogue on platforms that prioritize heated exchanges over substantive conversation. In taking on The View, Maher aimed his critique at an institution that symbolizes the intersection of celebrity culture and political discourse, suggesting that the show often prioritizes sensationalism over depth. This strikes at the heart of a larger debate about how television influences public opinion, and whether it serves as a platform for genuine understanding or simply entertainment. At the core of Maher's critique was the notion of authenticity, or the perceived lack of it. He argued that The View's format, which thrives on conflicting viewpoints, often comes across as manufactured. This raises a pertinent question. Does the structure of such shows naturally lead to authentic exchanges, or does it encourage performers to adopt exaggerated personas for the sake of ratings? Maher, a veteran in navigating the fine line between entertainment and discourse, seemed to suggest the latter. His critique implied that the show's structure might be contributing to the coarsening of public dialogue by rewarding confrontation over resolution. This public takedown also reflects Maher's broader philosophy on communication. He has consistently championed the idea of open dialogue that is both challenging and respectful, a principle he feels is increasingly rare. In contrast, he positioned The View as emblematic of a trend where dialogue often devolves into unproductive shouting matches. This stark juxtaposition highlights the tension between maintaining a lively conversation and ensuring that all voices are heard meaningfully, a balance that Maher believes the show has struggled to achieve. Maher's words also touched on the role of personalities in shaping the show's tone. Over the years, The View has featured a rotating cast of co-hosts, each bringing their own perspectives and temperaments to the table. While this diversity is a strength, Maher implied that it often leads to clashes that feel more performative than substantive. His commentary invited viewers to reflect on whether the show's dynamics are driven by genuine differences of opinion or by the desire to create viral moments. Another layer to Maher's critique involved the cultural impact of The View. As one of the few daytime talk shows that regularly tackles political issues, its influence cannot be overstated. Millions of viewers tune in daily, and its segments often spark conversations that ripple across social media and other news outlets. Maher's challenge to the show was not just about its content, but also about its responsibility as a cultural touchstone. He seemed to argue that with such a vast platform comes the obligation to elevate the discourse rather than dilute it. What makes Maher's commentary particularly compelling is his own position as a media figure. He has built a career on pushing boundaries and challenging conventional wisdom, which gives him a unique vantage point. Unlike many critics, he operates within the same ecosystem as The View, facing similar pressures to engage audiences while maintaining intellectual integrity. This insider perspective added weight to his critique, as it was not merely an external observation, but a call for introspection from within the industry. The implications of Maher's remarks extend beyond The View itself. They speak to the evolving role of media in shaping public discourse and the challenges of fostering meaningful conversations in an age of sound bites and social media. His critique resonates because it taps into a broader cultural anxiety about the quality of dialogue in an increasingly polarized society. As people consume news and opinions through a fragmented media landscape, the question of how to encourage thoughtful engagement becomes ever more pressing. Maher's takedown also underscores the challenges of addressing complex issues in a format designed for mass appeal. Shows like The View must navigate the tricky terrain of being accessible while tackling nuanced topics. Maher's comments suggest that this balance is often skewed, with the emphasis placed on entertainment rather than depth. This critique raises an important question. Is it possible for mainstream platforms to prioritize depth without sacrificing their broad appeal? The response to Maher's critique has been varied, with some praising his courage to speak out and others defending The View as a necessary space for diverse opinions. This divide reflects the polarized nature of modern discourse, where even the act of critiquing a show becomes a flashpoint for broader debates about media, politics, and culture. Maher's words have forced many to reconsider their own expectations of shows like The View and their role in the cultural ecosystem. In taking aim at The View, Maher also highlighted the broader challenges facing daytime television. The medium, once dominated by lighthearted fare, has evolved to include more politically charged content. While this shift reflects a changing society, it also brings new challenges. Shows must navigate the risk of alienating segments of their audience while trying to stay relevant in an increasingly competitive media landscape. Maher's critique points to the difficulty of striking this balance and the potential pitfalls of prioritizing controversy over content. Ultimately, Maher's takedown of The View is a reminder of the power of media to shape conversations and the responsibility that comes with that power. His words invite a deeper reflection on the role of talk shows in a democratic society and their potential to either foster understanding or deepen divisions. While his critique was aimed at a specific show, its implications are far-reaching, touching on the very nature of how we communicate and engage with one another in an age of information overload. The event also sheds light on the unique challenges faced by panel-based shows. With multiple hosts representing a variety of viewpoints, the potential for conflict is high. While this can make for compelling television, Maher's comments suggest that it can also hinder the kind of meaningful dialogue that such platforms are capable of fostering. His critique encourages viewers to think critically about the content they consume and to demand more from the shows they watch. Maher's takedown was as much about the audience as it was about The View. His critique implied that viewers have a role to play in shaping the media landscape by choosing what to support and engage with. This perspective shifts the focus from the creators to the consumers, highlighting the interconnected nature of media production and consumption. By challenging The View, Maher also challenged audiences to reflect on their own expectations and standards for media. One of the most striking aspects of Maher's remarks was his ability to articulate a frustration that many feel but may not always express. His critique resonated because it tapped into a broader dissatisfaction with the state of public discourse. By taking on The View, Maher gave voice to a concern that extends beyond any single show: the need for media to rise above the noise and contribute to a more informed and engaged society. Bill Maher's critique of The View not only highlights the inherent tension in balancing entertainment with meaningful dialogue, but also underscores the stakes of public discourse in shaping societal norms. His pointed remarks demand a reevaluation of how media platforms navigate complex conversations without reducing them to spectacle. The challenge lies in fostering a space where differing opinions can coexist productively, without descending into performative conflicts that erode trust in media institutions. Maher's bold commentary acts as a catalyst for deeper introspection about the values driving mainstream programming. It prompts creators and audiences alike to consider the potential for media to either bridge divides or exacerbate polarization, urging a collective effort toward fostering discourse that informs, engages, and unites. In the end, Maher's critique of The View serves as a call to action for media producers, consumers, and society at large. It challenges us to think critically about the role of media in our lives and to strive for a higher standard of dialogue. Whether one agrees with Maher or not, his words have sparked an important conversation, and that perhaps is their greatest value. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Bill Maher's take on The View? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.